Hello everyone, myself Michael Ravina. The subject is CS 3492 Database Management System. The unit is Relational Databases and the topic is Data Models and Database System Architecture. And first one is the data models in Dbms. A data model is a logical structure of the database. That means it describes the design of database to reflect entities, attributes, relationship among data, constraints, etc. This is the basic structure of the database that organizes the data, defines how the data are stored, accessed, and the relationships between the data. The different types of data models are: first one is the hierarchical model, then second one is the network model, then third one is the entity relationship, that means ER model, then fourth one is the relational model, fifth one is the object oriented model, then final one is the object relational model. First one is the hierarchical data model. In the hierarchical data model, a data is represented as a tree. That means a tree like structure is represents, which can be represented by as a tree. That means the data are represented like this. A record type can belong to only one owner type, but the owner type can belong to many record type. Here the data can be stored as records. Then next one is the network model. The network model, it is a modified version of the hierarchical model. In this model, the data in this data model where it allows more general connections among the nodes as well. They are difficult to use but are more flexible than the hierarchical database. This is more or like just like look like the hierarchical database, but the only difference between the data or links between these levels. Next one is the relational model. In this relational model is one of the lower level model that uses the collection of tables to represent the both data as well as the relationship among those data. Here the table structure is maintained. In each table, multiple columns are presented. Based on this column, depending on the number of attributes, the columns are represented, and each column has unique name. That one is the, in this example, this is one of the student table. Here the first one is the first column is the student ID, then second one is the student name, then next one is the students belonging to the particular standard. Okay, first one is the, here the details of the student ID informations are A101. Here one student have a particular specified one ID. And the name is, sometimes some students names are common. That means in this, from this example, the Ramesh, that means the another student name is also Ramesh, but the student ID is different. The student ID is only one student ID for one of the students. That must be a unique name. Next one is the ER model. That one is entity relationship model. This is one of the important model in the DBMS. Then first one is the, it means, that means the entity relationship model is the high level model based on the need of the organization. In this model, its entities are distinguishable from other objects, and the relationship is an association among several entities. Here the links are represented by using the relationship. Then next one is the object oriented model. The object oriented model, it represents entity sets as classes, and a class represents both attributes as well as the behavior of the entity. It means that instance of the class is an object. This is the representation. This is the representation of the object oriented model. In one object communicates with another by sending the messages. Next one is the object relational model. The object relational model that combines the features of relational model as well as the object oriented model. These are the data models of present in the database management system. Then next one is the Dbms architecture. The Dbms architecture depends upon how users are connected to the database and get their request to one. The Dbms architectures mainly contains some of the important components. First one is the application programmers, then second one is the sophisticated users, then next one is the Navy users, then next one is the database administrator, next one is the specialized users, etc. These are the some important components. First one is the application programmers. Application programmers means professionals who write application program, and using these application program they interact with the database system. Then second one is the sophisticated users. These users interact with the database system without writing programs, but they submit queries to retrieve the information. Then next one is the specialized users. That means who write specialized database applications to interact with the database system. Then next one is the Navy users. That means interacts with the database system by invoking some application programs that have been written previously by application programmers. Next one is the next important component is the database administrator that coordinates all the activities of the database system. The database administrator has good understanding of the enterprise information resources and needs. They have the important function in the database management system. That means the monitoring performance, access method definitions, these are all defined by the database administration. Then next one is the storage manager. The storage manager include the following components. First one is the authorization manager, then second one is the transaction manager, then third one is the file manager, then next one is the buffer manager. The storage manager means which one is the program module that provides the interface between the how the low level data stored in the database and the application programs and queries submitted to the system. The storage manager also responsible for the some of the tasks, that means the interaction with the file manager and also efficient storing, retrieving and updating the data. Next one is the authorization manager. Authorization manager checks whether the user is an authorized person or not. Next one is the test the satisfaction of the integrity constraints. The next one is the transaction manager. The transaction manager is responsible for concurrent transaction execution. It ensures that the database remains in the consistent state despite of the system failure. These are the some of the important components.